From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. It's Wednesday, February 4th. Here's what we're covering on today's episode. The New Mexico Senate Conservation Committee narrowly advanced the Clear Horizons Act on a 5-4 vote after more than 5 hours of intense testimony, sending the high-profile climate bill to another committee with just over 2 weeks left in the legislative session. The vote split largely across party lines, with one Democrat joining Republicans in opposition over concerns the bill could spur costly litigation and hurt southern New Mexico businesses. Business and industry groups, including dairy, mining, restaurant, oil and gas, and data center advocates, warned the bill could rise costs, threaten jobs, and discourage investment. Supporters countered that setting enforceable greenhouse limits is urgent as New Mexico faces rising temperatures, worsening wildfires, and more frequent natural disasters. The bill would put into law the state's goal of cutting greenhouse emissions by 45% by 2030 and reaching net zero emissions by 2050, while also setting new methane limits for oil and gas producers. Sponsor Senator Mimi Stewart said changes this year, including exemptions for small emitters, responds to past concerns. The legislation is now headed to the Senate Tax, Business, and Transportation Committee. The candidate field for New Mexico's 2026 statewide and congressional elections is now set, kicking off what is expected to be an expensive and competitive cycle. The race for governor will feature a Democratic primary between former U.S. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland and Bernalillo County District Attorney Sam Bregman, with both candidates framing the election as pivotal for the state's long-term direction. On the Republican side, 6 candidates filed, including Rio Rancho Mayor Greg Hall, State Senator Steve Lanier, former regulator Jim Ellison, and several business figures. In the U.S. Senate race, Democratic Senator Ben Ray Lujan is seeking a second term and faces a primary challenge from Matt Dotson, with the eventual nominee set to face Republican Christopher Vandal Holville. Currently, Lujan holds a massive fundraising advantage. All 3 of New Mexico's Democratic U.S. House members have filed for re-election, with Representative Gabe Vasquez drawing both primary and general election challengers, while Representative Teresa Ledger Fernandez and Melanie Stansberry will both face Republican opponents. All statewide offices and all 70 state house seats are up for election this year, with some incumbents, including the state auditor and treasurer, drawing no major party opposition. Party conventions next month will help shape primary ballots ahead of the June 2nd primary election. The Albuquerque City Council unanimously approved using more than $800,000 in opioid settlement funds to launch a 1-year sobriety housing pilot program aimed at people experiencing homelessness and addiction. Sponsored by Councilor Renee Grout, the program is designed to help individuals transition from detox or rehab facilities into permanent housing after 12 months of structured support. The initiative will not function as a detox center, but will accept participants coming from places like the city's medical sobering facility or Bernalillo County's care campus. In its first year, the program must serve at least 25 people, providing temporary housing along with case management, peer support, and clinical services. After completing the program, participants will be moved into permanent housing with continued support available if relapse occurs. The funding comes from New Mexico's opioid settlement with pharmaceutical companies and will not tap into city taxpayer dollars. While the resolution directs city staff to develop the program, it sets no firm timeline. If successful, the City Council will decide in 2027 whether to make the program permanent. And the New Mexico Department of Health is urging pregnant people to avoid drinking raw, unpasteurized milk after a newborn died from a listeria infection, likely linked to raw milk consumption during pregnancy. While investigators couldn't definitively identify the source, health officials say unpasteurized dairy is a known risk for listeria, which can cause a miscarriage, stillbirth, premature birth, or fatal infections in newborns, even if the mother only has mild symptoms. Pasteurization, which briefly heats milk to kill harmful germs, is strongly recommended for pregnant people or others at high risk. Raw milk is legal to sell in New Mexico under strict labeling and inspection rules, and Albuquerque and Bernalillo County approved its sale in 2023 with additional local requirements. Health officials also emphasized that raw milk can also carry other dangerous pathogens, including avian influenza, Salmonella, E. coli, tuberculosis, and Brucella, which all pose serious risks to young children, older adults, and people with weakened immune systems. State officials are encouraging consumers, especially those at high risk, to choose pasteurized dairy products to prevent serious illness. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you here daily, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and allows us to provide you with the news that that matters to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast. Today you can expect sunny skies with a high near 57, and as for this evening, mostly clear with a low around 29. To keep up with all the latest podcasts and news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. We'll be back tomorrow.